first video for BookTube or just discussing books in general. I don't really have like a purpose for this video other than just kind of like getting my feet in the water and filming something and just talking about some books that I've loved over the years, some books I'm reading right now, some books that I have not really cared for in the past, or books that I haven't cared for recently, and to just join a community. I just want to sit down and film myself talking about books. I don't know how great this video is going to be. I don't know where it's going to go, so we'll just kind of like go with the flow. But a little bit of background on me. I am 23 years old. I have been reading pretty much my entire life. I would say that the majority of my reading years were from the 3rd to this, well, I would go ahead and say the 8th grade, and then I entered high school. Took a break from reading in high school because of a lot of personal reasons. I started to work when I was 15, almost 16, and I worked 40 hours a week, so I really didn't have a lot of time to read after I came home. And I was struggling with like mental health issues, anxiety. There was not a lot of room for me to read. Fast forward a couple of years, I'm 18, I get accepted into college. I was very privileged to spend my first year at university with my high school best friend. I got a job on the campus library, so an academic library, in the fall of 2017. And I worked 30 hours a week, and I was also taking about anywhere from 15 to 21 hours a semester. And the job that I had was in library storage. I'm still at the same place, so I've been working in an academic library for about, well, going on 5 years, because I'm 23 now. I just turned 23 a couple of weeks ago. When I was an undergraduate student, I studied sociology with a heavy emphasis on criminology. When I took criminology, I became very, very interested in prisons and researching prisons and shifting, at least I'm speaking in the sense of the United States, shifting our prison system from a punitive perspective to a rehabilitative perspective. Statistically speaking and ethically speaking, rehabilitative programs are just better. I decided, why not just join my experience working in libraries with my passion for criminal justice reform and try to become a prison librarian, or what I like to call a correctional librarian. So right now I am a graduate student studying library and information science. I have always wanted to start a BookTube channel, or just a channel to discuss books and my love for them, and also my disdain for some of them. But I feel like the past 2.5, almost 3 years have just been really chaotic. I've had a lot of personal issues going on that have kept me from doing this, and now I'm at a point in my life where I feel like I have healed a bit from that, and I have a bit more free time, and I just want a creative outlet. I want that sense of community, and I just honestly want to talk to people about books. I was inspired to create this channel by 3 people. They're Mina Reads, Noel Gallagher, and A Clockwork Reader. I love their content. There are other creators as well that I really enjoy, but those 3 people just really inspired me to create my own channel. So my absolute favorite book of all time that I read in the summer of 2020 is Homegoing by Yaa Gyasi. And this book will legitimately tear your soul in half. Oh, there's my cat. Her name is Pigeon. Pigeon, come here, honey. Yeah, you're gonna knock my tripod over. Come here. Come here. Yeah, are you gonna make your little pigeon noises? Come here. Do you wanna say hello? Oh, this is Pigeon. Are you gonna look at the camera? Oh. I have had her for about a year. Actually, she's about to turn 1 year old. I'm not sure when her exact birthday is. I found her in a Sam's Club parking lot, just running around. She's super sweet. I have another cat. His name is Appa, but he's sleeping right now, and he looks like an angel, so I don't want to disturb him. But if he gets up, I will show y'all him as well. If you have not picked up anything by Yaa Gyasi, I highly, highly encourage you to do so. I would start with Homegoing, and then the following novel is called Transcendent Kingdom. I have not read that one yet, but it is on my TBR list. She is just a wonderful writer and wonderful person, and I love her. And I will go to the grave saying that Homegoing is my favorite book of all time. It will make you cry, and it is a heavy read, but a heavy read in an educational and moving way. So right now I am reading Beast of Prey by Ayana Gray. Ayana Gray is quickly becoming one of my favorite writers of all time. I believe this is a YA fantasy, and this is the first book in a series of, let's see, how many books are there? Okay, well, it doesn't say on here, but I know that there's at least one more book following this. So I asked two of my friends to come with me to Barnes & Noble a couple of weekends ago when my birthday happened. They asked me, Bailey, what do you want to do? It's your birthday. I said, I want the three of us to go to Barnes & Noble, and I'm going to buy some books. And I saw Beast of Prey on a buy one, get one 50% off. And I read the synopsis. Actually, I'll read the synopsis for you. Lucosa was once a city of magic and splendor. Now, 100 years after the rupture scarred the sky and devastated the land and its people, magic is no more than a myth. Until one night when Coffee, an indentured beastkeeper at the infamous night zoo, unexpectedly unleashes a dangerous, untamed power that has been secretly brewing within her for years. She sets into motion a chilling sequence of events that not only upends her whole world, but also links her to a complicated stranger with secrets of his own. As a warrior in training for the elite Sons of Six, Econ's task is to stop Coffee in her attempt to flee the night zoo. Instead, she saves him from the Shitani that has plagued Lucosa for nearly a century and stalked Econ's nightmares. Following their chance encounter with the beast, Coffee and Econ, each with a hidden agenda, strike a tentative bargain, teaming up to capture the Shitani as a hoped-for solution to their dire circumstances. To do so, they must enter the greater jungle, a world steeped in wild, frightening magic and untold dangers. But once the hunt begins, it quickly becomes unclear whether they are the hunters or the hunted. The start of a stunning and sweeping fantasy series from debut author Ayana Gray, Beast of Prey is an epic adventure where monsters hide in plain sight and two determined teens must decide whether to fight for what they've always dreamed of or for each other. And let me tell you, her writing, it is incredible. And this is her debut novel. There's a fire that happens in the beginning of the story, and it literally feels as though you are choking on the smoke coming off of this fire because she is such an incredible writer. Her world building is wonderful. I'm already attached to the characters. I was hooked from page one. I highly, highly encourage you to pick this up from your local library or from Barnes & Noble or your local bookshop. It is wonderful, and I think I'm 150 pages in and I've read it for about 2 days. So I actually picked this up from the library because I left my personal copy at work. I was so hooked that I literally went to the library immediately after I realized I forgot it, and I checked it out because it's so good, and I probably will finish this weekend. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite YA fantasies, and it might actually meet the bar of becoming my all-time favorite YA fantasy. This book is so good. I'm actually starting to delve more into romance, which is not something I usually read. I love fantasy. I also love some like historical romance, though I haven't read that in quite a while. Love fantasy, and I love romance and fantasy. It's a form of escapism for me, and I love being in worlds that are not similar to my own. But I recently read The Love Hypothesis. That one was okay. Obviously it has its problems, but I enjoyed it for the most part. I finished it pretty quickly, and I thought, you know what, why not try and delve into some more romance novels? So I picked up Delilah Green Doesn't Care, and this book is, number one, so freaking funny, and it's so good. First of all, look at the cover. It's beautiful. Delilah, she's so funny. She's so funny. If you haven't read this, I highly encourage it. You probably have seen this over like Book Talk or BookTube. Also heard some great things about Emily Henry, so I went ahead and picked up Book Lovers. One of my friends is reading Beach Read right now. She really likes that. I've read like maybe 30 or 40 pages of this and I thought it was pretty good. It's just, it takes me a bit longer to get hooked into a romance or contemporary novels just because it's not really my thing. However, I'm excited to finish this one, but I will be shelving those two until I'm finished with Beast of Prey. I picked up King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair. I'm really not a fan. I do think that Scarlett St. Clair is an incredible writer. I love her writing style. However, I don't like the plot. I don't like the characters. I don't like how fast everything is. It's just not for me. However, if you like this book, I can definitely understand why. She's a great writer. It's just not my cup of tea. Mainly because of the relationships. I feel like the relationships in this novel are just very, very toxic. I get that it's supposed to be a dark romance, and I used to be really into that, but I just don't like the way that the main character is treated by the men in her life. I can't get with the dudes in this book and the way that they treat the main character or women in general. I just don't like it, but if you like it, good for you. Glad you do. I don't care for it. So I'm probably going to donate this copy. I also picked this book up from Barnes & Noble. It is called Master of Poisons. It's probably the same at every Barnes & Noble, but they have these little tabs underneath books where the employees will recommend things. And I saw this one, I thought it was very interesting. I believe this is an adult fantasy. Yes. Master of Poisons by Andrea Hairston. And the cover is gorgeous. Look at that cover. So I'll read you the synopsis for this as well. The world is changing. Poison desert eats good farmland. Once sweet water turns foul. The wind blows sand and sadness across the empire. To get caught in a storm is death. To live and do nothing is death. There is magic in the world, but good conjure is hard to find. Jola, right-hand man and spy master of the lord of the Arkinsian Empire, is desperately trying to save his adopted homeland, even in exile. Awa, a young woman training to be a powerful griot or griot, tests the limits of her knowledge and comes into her own in a world of sorcery, floating cities, kindly beasts, and uncertain men. Awash in the rhythms of folklore and storytelling and rich with Hairston's characteristic lush prose, Master of Poisons is epic fantasy that will leave you aching for the world it burns into being. Wow, that's an incredible synopsis. It sounds so good, and I think it has a pretty good reviews on Goodreads, so I'm really excited to read this as well. My friend Tyler recommended this Poison Heart to me. I follow this author on Twitter. She's hilarious. I love her. Breesis has a gift. With a single touch, she can grow plants from tiny seeds to rich blossoms. When Breesis's aunt dies and leaves her a dilapidated estate in rural New York, Bree and her parents hope that maybe, surrounded by plants and flowers, Bree will finally learn to control her gift. But their new home is sinister in ways they never expected. It comes with a mysterious set of instructions and a walled garden filled with the world's most lethal botanicals. There is more to Bree's sudden inheritance than she could have imagined, and she is determined to uncover it. From the best-selling author of Cinderella is Dead, which I also want to read, comes an enchanting story about a young woman with a unique and deadly power. That is Appa. He's finally joined us. Appa, do you want to say hello? Come here. This is Appa. He's such a good boy. Can you look at the camera? Hi, buddy. Can you? Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's such a good boy. I had a cat named Momo. However, he passed away about 2 months ago. He's not been very happy lately, so he's just kind of, if he looks sad, he's just missing his pal. But he's beautiful. I love him. He's such a sweet boy, but I'm going to let him get back to doing whatever he's doing. I'm so excited for this book because Tyler loved it. Tyler has incredible taste, and I will read anything that Tyler suggests. What else do I have on here? That is what I'm currently reading. I do have a small TBR written right here. So on this TBR, I have Beast of Prey, Get a Life, Chloe Brown, recommended to me by my friend Cheyenne, This Poison Heart, and Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. I have read Red Rising. I listened to the audiobook. The audiobooks are incredible. I love, love, love Pierce Brown and his writing style. His world building is incredible. His characters are incredible. So I actually might reread Red Rising before I hop into Golden Sun, which I have over here. I love historical romance. I love fantasy. Obviously, I love young adult fantasy. Honestly, there are some children's books that I really like. Into the Land of the Unicorns by Bruce Covell is an incredible series that I read in the 5th grade. I will reread that over and over again. Gregor the Overlander by Suzanne Collins, wonderful. The Fire Within series by Chris DeLacy about little clay dragons. I will take those to the grave. Those are more of my like self-soothing books. Also, the Warrior Cat books by Aaron Hunter. I used to run around acting like a cat all the time, and it was wonderful. I'm not really sure what else to talk about. I've been filming for about 30 minutes now, and I don't want this video to be too long for an introduction into who I am, why I'm filming this video. If y'all like the video, that's wonderful. Kind of just like comment and tell me like what's your favorite book, or who are some of your favorite authors. Is there anything that you would recommend to me? Thank you so much for watching this video, and yeah, just comment, let me know what you like. Just comment, just talk to me. I just want a place where I can hang out, talk about books, and yeah, I hope you guys have a good day, evening, morning, wherever you are, and I will see you next time.